Hello everyone, this is Monomorphic on Reddit. I've been following the EMDrive through this subreddit and the NSF forum for quite some time now. Um, Particularly, I was interested in the Gary's mod and the EMDrive simulation in water, where he used drops to move the frustum shape across the pool of water. So I set up a simulation where I can test various cavity shapes and sizes. This is the test chamber. Right now I have a control object in there that we're going to, or control test object that we're going to do first, so I can show you that when you bounce little particles around inside of here, it just sits in one place because there's no net force in any direction. So let's just get right into that. It's already ready to go. All I have to do is, and you can see that as the particles bounce around, there's really no net movement. It'll move a little bit off center, but not completely. Now these little particles are perfect little bouncy balls. If you were to hold it and drop it, it would return right up to its exact, right to where you let go of it. So they bounce around sort of like a photon of light would do inside of a chamber, imparting momentum every time that they strike a surface. And here we are 600 frames in, and as you can see, we've only moved a little bit off center, and actually a little bit down, probably based on little perturbations early on in the simulation. So, okay, so we're going to rewind that, take us all the way back to frame 1. I'm going to break the connection so I can move this guy back to where he goes. I use the same solver for every one of these, so that I don't have to set it all up for one, and so that it's just the same solver. Put it into place. Grab this little vertex, and the only reason I have to do this is to keep the emitter going with the frustum as it starts moving. Otherwise, the particle emitter will just stay still, and this will start moving around. It still works, by the way. It's just that the particle will clip out eventually. All right, so let's run this one. Here you can see we're already starting to move up, and you can really kind of see why, because a lot of the particles are striking this large surface, and not so many are striking this lower surface. I will say that this lower surface is definitely not helping, because each time one strikes, each time a particle hits this lower surface, the momentum, of course, is down. So here we are, 600 in, and we've already moved up a pretty good ways. I'm going to stop that, rewind it, take us all the way back, break that connection, move this guy back into place. Now we're going to test the cone. Put it into place, connect that little vertex. Oops. Hold shift down, connect that little vertex, and we're ready to go. Let's just run it. So, as you can tell from what I've posted, this shape so far of the ones that I've tested, posted, is the most efficient. Moves up very fast, and you can again see why these particles are. And I can zoom in here, so you can really see what's going on. In fact, let's just rewind this and start all over again, so you can just follow sort of the trajectory of each of these particles as they bounce around. and start to sort of understand why more strikes are hitting up here, and every time that a particle hits this sidewall, part of the momentum is transferred laterally and not down, and then every time a particle hits up here, the momentum is transferred up along this plane, and this guy gets going pretty good, and you can see he's actually accelerating and getting faster and faster and faster because of all of the different particle hits along the surface, the sort of asymmetry of it. All right, we're going to stop that, rewind. Let's see, we'll break the connection, move it back into place, and I could take you on a tour of the rest of it. These are the 4 items that I've tested so far and posted, in ranked in order of efficiency, this one being the most efficient, and then down to least efficient. Clearly, when the particles have less distance to travel, they impart more momentum to the surface if they in a shorter amount of time. These are the experimental cavity shapes that I'm looking at. This is one of the ones that was talked about on the NSF forums. I've run the simulation for it. It actually goes down, and that's because of this large surface down here. All the particles hit down here and transfer more of the momentum down. And the same up here. This acts as a sort of lateral momentum transferring surface, and so momentum is actually net momentum, and this is down. This one was also talked about on the NSF forums. I fully expect it to go up and be pretty efficient, though probably not as efficient as a shorter one. I've tested this one, and it's pretty good. It's very fast. These are some other shapes. I don't expect these to work very well because, again, here we are transferring momentum laterally, more transferring momentum. It's all about transferring momentum up. Here's some other shapes. I have tested all of these, and then down here are all of the control cavities. I've tested these 2, and I need to test the other 3, but I fully expect those to just stand still. And that's where I'm at right now. I can test different ones at any time. I can do different shapes. I have a bunch of different ideas on how I can make it more efficient. I'd like to know, what people think on why it's doing this. Is it a floating point rounding error based on the fact that it's a rigid body simulator, even though it's a simulator that's used to do high precision simulations of water, smoke, air. I have the settings set to 0 gravity and 0 air, no wind, so it's like everything's being done in a vacuum. And so that's where I'm at. I'm open to suggestions. Let me know. Thanks.